We draw a structure for the sulfate ion. We're using the Mr. Gooch approach, which I love. First of all, let's figure out how many valence electrons we're working with. So, sulfur, oxygen. How many valence electrons does sulfur have? Use your periodic table.
6.
6. And how many sulfurs do we have? 1. How many valence electrons does oxygen have? 6. And how many oxygens are we dealing with? 4. Okay. That gives us a total of 30. There's one more thing we have to do, though. This is not neutral. It has a 2 minus charge. So we add 2 electrons. So we have 32 valence electrons. Okay. Now we need to figure out the octet electrons. So this is how many everything would like to have, how many they would like to feel like. Okay, we have how many atoms here total? 5 atoms total. Are any of them our exceptions, like hydrogen or boron? No. So they all want to have how many around them? 8. So we can just do this. So how many, what's our octet number?
40.
40. Okay. Now let's figure out how many electrons will be involved in bonding. So we're going to take our octet minus our valence, which is 40 minus 32. How many electrons will be involved in bonding? 8. All right, we're going to have 8 electrons involved in bonding. Let's figure out how many bonds we have. So bonds is our bond electrons divided by 2. 8 divided by 2. How many bonds are we looking for? 4. Okay. We know that the least electronegative will go in the center, and also whatever we have a singleton of. So what goes in the middle? Sulfur. Well, we have 4 bonds and 4 oxygens. That's pretty easy. Now let's look for our unshared electrons. If we take our bonding electrons and subtract it from our valence electrons, so unshared electrons is going to be valence minus bonding. So we have 32 minus 8. We get 24 unshared electrons. Okay, so let's start placing them. Where would we typically place electrons? Can sulfur take anything?
No.
Sulfur's full. It's got an octet. So we're going to look at all these oxygens. So start placing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. What do you know? I think this is a lot easier than the book's method of drawing the Lewis structure for each one first and then moving electrons and all that stuff.
You know everything going in.
Yeah, you arrange them, you count it up. Now let's do our final. We have 2 things left to do. Number 1, let's check octet for everything we've got here. 2, 4, 6, 8. This one's happy. 2, 4, 6, 8. That one's happy. 2, 4, 6, 8. That one's happy. 2, 4, 6, whoops, 8. That one's happy. 2, 4, 6, 8. They're all happy. They all have an octet. Everything is satisfied. One last thing. What do we need to do? Bracket and charge. And we're done. It seems more confusing at first, but I think once you get the hang of this method, I think that there will be far fewer mistakes with this. You're going to have a Lewis Structures FIP quiz either Wednesday. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, whoever.
So that is the Lewis.
This is the Lewis structure, correct. So let's do one for that nitrate ion that I had asked you before to just take on faith. Just trust me, this is how it's drawn. Let's actually draw that together. We'll break this video again.